Hey everyone, welcome back to the MV Alucia. I'm Melissa Patrician from Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, here with my host.
Hi, Dwight Coleman from the University of Rhode Island Inner Space Center.
And we're here today to talk to you about the submersibles. First, we want to give you a quick little recap of what we did yesterday, and just in case you missed our feed yesterday. So yesterday we did our first NHT ROV dives, went great. And right now we actually have the ROV in the water again. And on our live feed, you should be able to see a quad with 4 pictures. And you should be able to see on the aft deck, you'll see a wire heading down to the water. That's what our vehicle is currently attached to. And then on the lower left side, you'll see everyone in mission control. That's this room right behind us right now. And everyone in there is driving the vehicle and looking at the optical capabilities of the vehicle and checking out all of the imaging that it's collecting. And you can actually see that image live on the lower right-hand side. So we're getting all of that live across to you guys, which is pretty cool. And right now the vehicle is at 2,500 meters, and we're sort of right along the bottom, heading our way back up. And we should, I will, of course, continue to live tweet and update you when we're back on deck, so don't forget to follow us. So that's kind of what we did today and yesterday.
Yeah, and the vehicle's really cool. So I think we're breaking a record now with this dive. They're going down to about 2,500 meters, so this is the deepest it's ever been. And it's using this new hybrid technology for their tether. So this cable that we're operating on is a traditional oceanographic winch cable, and 0.322 inches in diameter. So it's almost every oceanographic ship in the world has one of these cables on it. So this tether technology that was developed by Woods Hole is versatile. It'll enable it to go on almost any ship and be able to operate as an ROV. So they're testing that out. They're testing out these cool new cameras, including a panoramic camera, 3 cameras that are digitally stitched together to give us a full panoramic view of the seafloor, which is really awesome. And then there's also a 3D camera system, so we can put on our 3D glasses. And we were doing this yesterday. We all had our 3D glasses on, watching these formations on the seafloor, and they just pop out at you, and the animals that are down there are hovering there in 3D. It's really amazing. It was really cool.
Yeah, and I think what you guys are seeing right now is a quick little clip of the launch and recovery of the vehicle. So we did that, right here from the deck, and then you get to see what we're doing inside here, watching the video with those 3D glasses, like Dwight was saying. It's pretty cool. And we actually got to see a lot of really neat species. In fact, we got to see a pom-pom anemone, which is the first time I, as a biologist, had ever seen that. It was really, really neat little thing.
Yeah, it was cool. So we're getting ready for an exciting afternoon, actually. So there's new technology that was also developed by engineers at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. Norm Farr and Cliff, who developed this optical modem technology, which is going to enable us to communicate with the submarines while they're down. And we'll actually have a telepresence component during the dive, and we should be getting live video and audio from those subs back up to the ship, and then we can broadcast those same feeds to shore. And the guys in the sub right behind us are rigging for these dives. So you want to describe a little bit about what they're doing?
Yeah, so right now we have our pilot, Alan Scott. He's our sub-team leader here in the vehicle behind me, and Norm Farr, the chief scientist on the optical modem from Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. They're both here working on rigging up the subs and doing the last final tests before this afternoon's dive. And I think we actually we were able to catch up with Alan earlier today and chat with him a little bit about the submersibles and what are the subs all about. So let's go ahead and show you that.
In waters off Panama, and we've seen some amazing stuff since we've been here. This is probably going to be some fantastic work we're doing over the next couple of days. Weather is fantastic. What we're going to do next is we're going to go into the sub, and we're going to look at how we get the pictures that you're going to see later this week. Up the stairs, into the sub, mind your heads. Okay, Okay, as you're getting in, it's quite easy. Just put yourself and your backside on here, hands on here, mind your head, and then slide on down into the sub.
Okay. What about my camera?
Ah, well, if you want to give me the camera, then I'll take the photographs, so I get to do your job for a minute. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. This is transition.
Okay.
This is our office. This is where we do a lot of our work. We spend a lot of time underwater. We are, without a doubt, very, very lucky. You are in at this present moment in time. This is the Triton 33K. We've got 2 submersibles on board the Alucia. We've got a deep rover, which you can see over my shoulder, which is a 2-man submersible, and the Nadir, which is a 3-man submersible. This little bubble allows us to get to 1,000 meters down, which is a pretty long way down, but even longer way back. Allows us to see amazing things. The visibility, as you can see in this submersible, is spectacular. So from the instant that you're lifted off the deck, you go in the water, you can see everything. And we have seen whales, sharks, manta rays, you name it, we've seen it. We've got some of the best pilots in the world, and we go through all sorts of training on board here just to make sure that we maintain a high standard of safety. So basically, in the sub here, what we've got, this is our electrical panels over here. We've got a mass of different switches that control everything from the power that comes into the sub, the atmosphere, the manipulators. We've got arms, we've got underwater comms, we've got sonar, we've got different power supplies for the different cameras that we use on board. We work with all sorts of different people. We do science work, we do filming. Some of the filming you may have seen on the BBC, NHK, different people, and the quality that they're getting is just outstanding. Over on my right side here, we've got gas supplies, we've got gauges to tell us the depths, we've got air supplies, oxygen supplies, we've got bibs for built-in breathing systems, we've got lights. It is packed, jam-packed, full of information and technology in here. This is how we get what we see and what is important to us and the world out to everyone, so they can see how important the environment that we live in is. The sea is so important. If we don't look after it, then the fact is, and we don't look after it for our kids, for our grandkids, then it's never going to be there. Therefore, it's going to be a hard life for them. So this is why we're here. We're looking at what we can do to protect that environment, increase its ability for all the marine life to live and be happy. Thanks, Alex. I hope you had a good time in the sub, the Triton. And next time we're going to see you, we're going to be in the water, getting wet.
Hey everyone, so hope you learned a little bit about our submersibles and got to a little introduction to our sub-team leader, Alan, and what we'll be doing this afternoon. And again, we're going to be testing our optical modem this afternoon, so we're pretty excited to see what that technology seems like out here on board. This will be its first run ever, so that's pretty cool. We're going to go ahead and go to a couple live questions here. We're getting tweeted a question from, let's see, Heather in Rhode Island. Heather in Rhode Island wants to know if either of us has ever dove in a submersible before. Well, Heather, I haven't, but my buddy here, Dwight, has. So, Dwight, could you tell her a little bit about that experience?
Oh, sure, yeah. It was really unbelievable. It was actually about 10 years ago, and I was working in the Black Sea in Bulgaria, actually. And the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences had purchased a former tourist submarine from the Cayman Islands. And it was not too different from the submarines behind us here. It had a big acrylic ball, and I got the prime seat, so I was able to sit right in front of the ball and make all the geological observations during the dive. And we were diving down into the anoxic zone of the Black Sea. It was really cool. And we were actually exploring for shipwrecks, and there were some ancient shipwrecks that we had mapped with a side scan sonar, and I was able to dive on one of those ancient shipwrecks and make all sorts of observations and collect video, and then bring that back home for the archaeologists to analyze. So a lot of fun. It was about a 4-hour dive, and I think I went down to about 350 meters. And it's just amazing because you're physically going where humans really shouldn't be, and you become enveloped in this realm that is really dangerous, but you're protected inside the submarine, and it's just fantastic. So it's really cool. Great question, Heather. Yeah, keep them coming.
Hey, Dwight, you mentioned the anoxic zone. For those of us that may not be
yeah.
scientists at home, what is the anoxic zone?
Oh, so there's parts of the ocean that have very little dissolved oxygen in the water, and kind of think of it as maybe in a river or a pond where the water is a bit stagnant, and the mud really is smelly, and that's because of hydrogen sulfide that gets converted in these environments. So there's really no oxygen in these areas, so there's no life besides a few species of anaerobic bacteria, I think, is all that can really live down there. And so in the bottom of the Black Sea, it's devoid of oxygen, so there's no animal life at all that can live down there. Really amazing. And that's due to the circulation of the ocean. Some areas just don't mix that well with the upper layers. And of course, we get our oxygen from the atmosphere and mixing down in.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
We have one more question here I think we have time to take. Jenny from New Jersey, she's interested about this communication thing we're talking about in the subs, and she says, is this the first time we've ever done this? Is this the first time we've had communication and video in the subs? And Jenny, you're right, the answer is yes, in fact, and that's why we're so excited about this. So at 4 o'clock your time, 3 o'clock our time, we're going to have a live show, and if everything goes as we planned, fingers crossed, we're going to have live video straight from that submersible right there, straight out to you guys. We're going to have video and audio, basically like a Wi-Fi connection right inside the sub, but the sub is going to be down at 1,000 meters below the surface. So like just take that in for a second.
Yeah.
This giant sub down at 1,000 meters, and you can like check your email, and we're going to send videos straight to you guys. It's pretty cool, and we are so excited. So please don't forget to check us out this afternoon at 4 p.m. your time, Eastern Standard Time. And follow us at Melrose0717, and keep those questions coming. Tweet us at Melrose0717, hashtag Alucia Live, and we'll keep answering those questions as they come in. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in a few hours. Bye-bye.